Welcome back to another episode of Walk and Talk with Judy and Michelle. What a gorgeous day, Judy. You ready to walk?
Beautiful. Yes, let's
Awesome,
walk.
let's do it. So one thing that I'm hearing very consistently at all of my clients is that there's constant change. There's a lot going on. And what's interesting is what I'm hearing from leaders is that they are feeling like their team members are resisting the change.
Yeah.
And when I hear that, I'm like, oh, like these are good people. Like I'm sure there's something under that. Like they're not just resisting because they're set in their ways, but there's got to be fear and anxiety and uncertainty. Like, you know, how do you think about resistance? Because that word is just, I mean, but it's real.
Yeah, it's real, but there's a lot of reasons for resistance, and there's a lot of different varieties of resistance.
Okay.
In our experience, we only see about 10% of people who go through change like truly resistant.
Okay.
Like locking in and being, I do not want to change.
Okay.
Most of that is actually people's just natural reactions because it was sudden. So, you know, it's jump scare, right?
Yeah.
Sudden change, like we fear that sudden change, or they've had experiences in the past that make them nervous about it. Or they haven't been able to engage in a way where when they see barriers or challenges or issues, they haven't had a means to express that and ask, have we thought about that? Are we dealing with that? And so it comes out as resistance. Well, this is never going to work because, you know, when in fact...
Yeah. What's interesting though is really like I'm hanging on that 10% because the way I'm hearing it from leaders, it sounds like it's way bigger than 10%.
I'm sure it feels bigger than 10%. Yeah.
And why is that? Do you think does it start to permeate other people, or is it just they're hearing the
squeaky wheel?
Yeah, I was going to say resistance, but that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is something to say the squeaky wheel, that the resistance reverberates more.
Right.
In change, we talk about positive gossip because negative gossip is really easy to flow through an organization super quick.
Yep.
So anybody who is resistant, who has challenges, that flows really quickly. Positive stories are harder to push to flow out. So creating those are harder. So you hear more of the negativity often. But so now leaders have to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah. So where do leaders start?
Yeah. I think leaders start with engagement. Okay. So I said before, like sometimes this is people's way of getting their voice heard and getting their questions asked.
Yep.
So if you can ask questions in a more productive way, if you can engage people, so when you're ready to talk with people, hey, this is what we're doing. The decision is non-negotiable, but how we get there and how we engage you and how you come to be able to truly adopt this and be fluent and have a sustained change in that new way of working, we want you part of that solution.
I love that. So if you have ideas that you've engaged your teams with during a big change, please let us know. Or if you have questions about ways that you can engage, Judy can answer them. Just let us know and
Put them
comment.
in the chat. We'd love. Maybe we can all answer them together.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you, Michelle.
Have a good day. Thanks, everyone.